Hi, if you saw my previous video, you have heard about my misadventures with the 2014 New Year's and the onset of the flu. Well, it looks like most of my major symptoms have gone. Anyone who's had the flu knows that though the infectious and severe part of the disease is gone, there's a few artifacts and residuals that'll be around for a while. In any case, getting past all that, I'm going out today. I've got my Xterra 705 and I promised a new coil. I thought I would be out before I got the new coil, but it didn't work out that way. But just the same, it's a standard size coin. It's not a concentric. It's the 18.75 DD coil. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to make this a continuation of my final video of 2013, where I'm trying a series of coils on the part that I've pounded pretty good. I've used the Coiltech. I've used the smaller Mind Lab. Was it 5.5 inches, something like that. And now I'm using a standard size coil with the Xterra 705. I think this thing is 7-8 inches. I haven't really looked at it that closely, but I know that is a standard size coil, though it's not a concentric one. So I'm going to go give this one a shot, and we'll do a few digs and see what the results are, and come back and start the new year off right. Talk to you later. Well, I may have my first find of the new year. Don't know what this is. Looks like a dime. Okay, well, that's something at least. My first post-flu dime. Put that back. Okay, here are the results of today's digs. 3, 4, and there's probably a couple other pieces of garbage. Bottle caps, pieces of foil. That's another tiny piece of foil or piece of wire, and another long piece of wire that I believe I threw in the trash. So that was it. Now, with the 18.75 megahertz mid-range coil, it's not the small, it's not the large, it's not the Coiltech, it's not the I guess you would call it the Mind Lab version of a sniper coil, which is the 5.75 inch variety coil size. But here's what I got. I got 27 cents, two crusty zinc, and a quarter that looks like it's been seriously gone over by more on more than one occasion. So not pretty, but if this was a one-to-one measure, my other two coils on the same pounded part and about the same period of time, like I said, I'm working on lunches and haven't done many of those since I've been out of the detecting business for a while involuntarily. About 45 minutes to an hour each. On the other two coils, the Coiltech, the very large coil, I got a dime and a zinc, and using the smaller sniper trashy area coil, I did also. I got another dime and a penny. I think that's basically a coincidence, but I do think there is an issue you might need to look at. It is transition. When you use the small coil or you use a large coil, you're pretty much isolating yourselves into the kind of areas they specialize in. The large coil, open field, hopefully not too trashy, and the 15-inch Coiltech is not going to respond well to having 8 or 9 bottle tops in the circumference. I mean, bottle caps and or pull tabs in the circumference. And the small coil is not going to work out in the field unless you've got a lot of time and patience. It's like, I don't really know what it's like. It's like cutting grass one blade at a time with toenail clippers. Any case, so I think that might be a gotcha here. So along the lines of pointless graphic representation, these are the coils I used for my little experiment. And if you think the methodology for my experiment is flawed, you would be exactly correct. This is mostly intellectual exercise rather than one that actually prove measurable results. But in any case, what I found, and this is going to be dead obvious to experienced detectorists, maybe not so obvious to some of us that are in the medium to lighter range of experience, but all of these have strengths and weaknesses. The coil tech, of course, it has depth and it has the size that allows it to cover territory very quickly. The medium-sized MindLab Double D, and this would also go for the concentric. This is just great. This is the workhorse. You pull it out, you get it done, you put it away. And so it has those qualities to it. It doesn't cover a lot of territory, and but it does give enough target separation. So if you can't cover territory, but you have enough target separation, so you can also pick a little gold out of the trash. And then of course, over here, the small 18.75. This would be the same for any of the megahertz ratings. This one is, this is what you use in a dump around picnic tables in well-traveled areas of parks and pavilions, or after concerts or whatever else, and that you can get permission to do after a large gathering of people. This is what you need to do to pick the really fine bits out of the mass of garbage. Now, the reason I believe that the one in the middle is so good is the fact it has the good qualities of both and the negative qualities to some degree of either. But what it does allow you to do is to go from a field and transition to a garbage-ridden area and still have enough target separation so you can at least find some things. So I believe in 9 times out of 10 in a mixed environment, the mid-range coil is going to do your job. It's the one you need to use. Now, if you're not in a mixed range environment, then if you're in a field or if you're in an area in a park that's wide open with a lot of space, coil tech is the way to go. There's nothing better. You need to cover a lot of area. You cover a lot of area. You can, you're not sharpshooting. You're using a cannon. Over here, you're sharpshooting. So find those garbage areas, slap this thing on, and go to war. Now I must admit, sometimes it's fun working on those garbage areas just to pick the little fine treasure among the trash. In any case, that's all I've got to say about that. And by the way, here's a new addition to some of the detectors we're going to be working on. In fact, I've sold some and bought some more. My life is pretty much a rotation of detectors, with the exception of the Deus. I'm keeping the Deus. In any case, this is the Tesoro Tejon. I call it, well, it's among the king of the beep and dig detectors. It's deep. It has the two discrimination levels that allows you to really center in on what you want. And of course, it has the great discrimination circuitry that all of the Tesoros have. I love Tesoros. Like I said, I don't think there's a better park machine in many occasions. In fact, the Tesoro, even before I sent it back, it was the first machine where I was actually able to go out and coin shoot successfully as a relative novice. I was able to set this thing, set it right, and I was able to go out there, and virtually every signal I got turned out to be something worth digging. So I've had a great deal of it. Down here, I have bought the larger coil. I think it's 12 by 10 for the Tejon. So I have the standard coil. I have the small sharpshooter coil, and I have the standard coil that comes with the detector. So I have the same range of devices that I have with the Xterra 705. So I'm going to be using that too. So look forward to some some uses and reviews of that in the field. Anyway, that's all I've got. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to photograph many digs. It looks like during my infirmity I did do one thing. I did forget how to use my camera. Made a stupid mistake, left the camera on, wasn't focusing it in the correct area. So I'll get that better. Anyway, talk to you later, and happy hunting.